Today I'm coming to you from Nissan land. Now we are near an airport, so I might take flight at any moment. This is the 2025 brand new Nissan Kicks. This is a complete redesign from top to bottom, interior, exterior. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check out the tech, we're gonna check out the interior, we are gonna look at the new exterior design, and then we're gonna take it for a drive. So let's get into it. I'm in the most fully spec'd out SR trim package all-wheel drive, and this has got every option on it, and this is close to $32,000. However, the base SR front-wheel drive starts at about $23,000, including destination. This is the subcompact class of vehicles, but the interior is surprisingly roomy in here. They have actually increased the shoulder room by almost 2 inches up front and about 1.5 inches in the back. And overall, this is a bigger space than you might expect. And for the first time ever, the Nissan Kicks gets all-wheel drive as an option across every possible trim package. And that's a nice thing if you live in anywhere where it snows. This SR package has the optional dual 12.3-inch display. It's actually quite good. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and it's pretty bright. It's pretty responsive. The screen is very customizable. This really reminds me a lot of the BMW M3 and the new Ford Mustang. And yes, I'm going to make that comparison because these screens are pretty good and they are pretty bright. This vehicle has the optional 10-speaker Bose sound system that you can get as an option in the SR trim. And while you don't have a lot of adjustability, you are able to adjust the surround quite a bit. And it's not the bassiest system in the world, but it is pretty clean. I think it's pretty easy to listen to. It doesn't feel shrill. It doesn't feel annoying. It doesn't feel like it's going to give me a headache. Again, especially at this price class, I think it's very good, and I could listen to this for a long time. Now, you do have climate control on here if you want, but there is actually physical buttons, haptic buttons right below the console, but they have little indents on them so you can press them, and they're pretty clicky. It's pretty effective. I like it. You're not relegated to purely just having everything on the screen. On this SR trim, you've got 4 different USB ports, and you've got wireless charging, so you can put your phone in here and charge it up too. That's kind of a nice touch. In front of the driver, you've also got a 12.3-inch display, which is quite good, and it's actually quite configurable. You can change it from this very sort of classic view to something a little bit more simple. You can have your music in here, and there's a lot that you can do with this center display. This SR trim has some nice stitching over here. You've got sort of nice faux carbon fiber. There's some nice little orange accents in here. These are the upgraded seats, so you've got faux leather over here, and in the center, you got cloth. Most of them get cloth. The fit and finish actually seems quite good, especially for a vehicle at this price class. There's actually a lot of cargo space in the Kicks. With both seats down, you've got 60 cubic feet of cargo space. Of course, this storage shelf does come off. It's really quite good. I'm surprised how much there is. The seats don't go down completely flat, and you've got 60-40 folding split rear seats. In the back seat, you've got a couple of USB ports over here, USB-C ports. Now, I'm at 5'9", and a little cutout for my head, so it's not too bad. I think if you're over 6 foot tall, it might be a little bit tight. But sitting behind myself, there's actually okay knee room. I'm not super cramped, I'm not super squished. This is going to be fine for smaller people, for little kids, and even for adults on a relatively short drive. I think it's going to be okay. You got cup holders in the back, and you've got a little pocket over here too. So with that said, let's go for a drive. Let's take a little drive through the urban jungle that is Los Angeles with this 2-liter engine. Going to be tearing it up, 141 horsepower. That is full throttle, pedal to the metal, baby. Here we go. So the CVT transmission is actually pretty good. Somehow Nissan has improved this really dramatically compared to the last generation. It used to be not very pleasing, but now when I nail it, you get the fake shifts. Now it is a little bit of the rubber bandy effect when you're at full throttle, but if I'm just sort of cruising along and I just want to give it a little bit of gas, it's really not bad. And driving it around, the engine is not too loud, it is not too drony or too annoying at all, and the fake shifts actually seem to contribute to the way it feels. I think it's actually okay. Now we're getting onto the freeway here, so we're going to do a little merge action, and you would think that 141 horsepower is not enough, but it's not fast, but it's fast enough. I'm merging onto the freeway without any issues at all. So it does have more power than the last generation, and you're supposed to be able to get, I think, 35 on the freeway, 29 in the city, something like that. I'm seeing an average of about 27 mpg. So I think the powertrain's actually pretty good in this. Now let's talk about the ride quality and the noise level here. So the noise level is actually not too bad. I think this has a decent amount of insulation. The noise that I am getting in here is coming mainly from the chassis. You can sort of hear the road noise that's happening here. It is not the smoothest ride in the world, I will give you that. It's definitely a little bit on the bouncy side. This is actually a fairly decent stretch of freeway that I'm on right now. It's actually not too bad, but that's just sort of where they're putting their money in terms of what you can do in an economy car. Now the steering is pretty light. It seems pretty accurate. I really like you're sitting up high above the traffic. Sight lines are really, really good in here, and the cabin feels bright and open and spacious and airy, and I like the cabin quite a bit. And we've actually got this sunroof that opens up here with the sunshade, which can go all the way back across 2 rows, and that's kind of a nice feature as well. Now it actually does have adaptive cruise control here and lane centering. So let's see if we can get that turned on right now. All right, I've got it set for 63 miles an hour. And you can see actually it's doing a pretty good job overall of centering me in the lane. Now let's see how it deals with this traffic here. Probably not that great is my guess. But yeah, this guy is not driving well at all. I wouldn't expect the cruise control to sort of pick up a driver like that is coming into your lane. But lane centering is pretty solid. And I'm just gonna pull in behind this truck, and I'm gonna see how well it slows down. It's supposed to actually deal with traffic that goes all the way down to stop and go traffic. And right now I'm behind this truck and it's slowing down pretty good. I think there's a stop sign at the end of this ramp, so let's see and let's find out if it actually takes me down to a complete stop. Let's see, I got my foot over the brake just in case, but I think I'm good. Yeah, we're going 2-3 miles an hour right now. This is okay. So is this worth the money or not? Well, this is a massive upgrade from the last generation, in my opinion. The exterior redesign and the interior are just huge improvements. They bear little resemblance to the previous generation, and I think for a lot of people on those 2 points alone, they're gonna like it. At this price point, the fact that you can get an all-wheel drive option across every trim level, I think makes it pretty appealing to people who live in more northern climates and places where it's gonna snow a little bit. As I see it, the major downside is the ride quality. In my opinion, it's not that great, but you are sort of trading off getting a much nicer, improved interior. And for people that don't value ride quality, I think this offers pretty solid value. I think Nissan has done a really good job with the new Kicks. There's another great video over here. See you in the next one.